Welcome to The Art of Being Unstoppable, the podcast where women from every walk of life come together to break barriers, embrace their power, and live life on their own terms. I'm your host, Vicki McDougall, and each week we explore inspiring stories, actionable strategies, and empowering conversations to help you step into your confidence, amplify your voice, and create a life without limits. No matter where you are on your journey, this is your space to grow, thrive, and become unstoppable. Welcome to another episode of The Art of Being Unstoppable. And this week's guest is Suzana Mihajlovic. I've been working on that name all day. I'm not going to lie. This beautiful woman came into my life not that long ago, and we had such a great connection. And I felt like I have known you for so long, Suzana.
Yeah.
And you are just, I don't know, I feel such a connection to you energetically, and doing some more research on what you do and what you're up to. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Vicki. It is absolutely my pleasure, my honor to be here. And, the feeling is mutual. I just felt the same about you. And when we spoke, my whole day, my whole week was just beautiful and full with love and joy. So thank you so much for having me on your incredible show.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I want to share something real quick about when we first met, and we were talking, and I was speaking, and you said, "Can I say something?" And I said, "Absolutely." And you said, "Stop saying try. You are her." And I had tears in my eyes. And even now that I say it again, I have tears in my eyes. I have been on this edge of, what do I do? I was a little afraid to jump all in. There was all these feelings and emotions that went on for quite some time. And then the end of last year, things started to shift. But I'm going to be honest, the moment you said that to me, I literally felt it. And now I know that it's right. It's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So thank you for that. It really, it meant more to me than I can even say. I just felt, like I said, so connected, but I also felt like you could see it. And that just made me really feel it even that much more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for me, our first meeting, Vicki, it was so clear that you have such a big mission and purpose. And it's interesting, as women or as people, maybe women more so, maybe not, we try to hold on to our old selves and our old pasts and who we thought we were or who we have always been. Yet sometimes or all of the time, that holds us back to who we were created to be, our truth. And it was that one little thing that to me really resonated, Vicki, with you, that, oh my God, if she just lets go, that one little bit, her mission and purpose is just going to reach the moon and back. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for everything you do, because just your presence is making a difference. I want you to know that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I feel like as women, we do hold ourselves back, for many different reasons. Part of which may be not wanting to have a negative feedback from who we choosing to be, and how we show up, and feeling judged, or feeling not comfortable, or feeling that we've become better than, or it's this competition for a lot of women. And,
Yes.
I, as a stylist for many, many years, have never felt competition with any other stylist, because I always said that we're no one ever, there's enough people around for every one of us to have a clientele, and why work against each other and not with each other and for each other? So this transition for
Absolutely.
me was just natural, and I really appreciate meeting women like yourself. And you've really, your mindset is phenomenal. Like, I've watched some videos that are out on you when you with speaking with Bob Proctor's team, and you work with Bob Proctor, and you've created this Your2Minds coaching, and you embody it, and it exudes from you just as you sit there. You are just that person. And I think that that's just a testament to what you just said. Like, when we believe it and we are that, then it becomes who we get to be, and there is no stopping us.
Yeah, absolutely. There is absolutely no stopping us. And thank you so much for saying all of that. And, this is my life's work, as you know. This is what I've been doing all of my life since I was a child. And then as an adult, chose to pursue the career in human potential psychology, leadership, helping others. And then 9 years ago, started my own business, which was a lifelong dream. And I say all that not to impress anybody, but I say all that because even with the amount of hours that I've put into doing this work myself, if you want to call it work, I'm not sure if I like the word work, but I haven't found another word. This journey of, I guess, expansion and letting go, I guess. When there are times in my life too that even to this day, and periods in my life, Vicki, that um, you know, I fall back, or my mindset isn't great, or some of the old paradigms might creep in. So I just want to share that with everybody, because the best thing that you can do for yourself is to really learn about yourself. And not about yourself as just the beautiful woman that you are, Vicki, and your past. That's one element of you. But to learn about who you truly are, your core essence, learn about who you are at the soul level, in that invisible level that no one sees, that no one can touch. And the more you get help in expanding, in breaking through, you will also have downtimes. One thing that what you see in my posts and my videos are absolutely 100% me. And I've only just scratched the surface of the surface, even though it's been a lifelong journey. However, I want everyone to know is that I don't get it perfect all of the time. And I'm just as human as every single person that is watching this too. So I think that's so important, because we see people that we don't know, and we see them, teaching. I once had a client, actually, I'll never forget, she's still in my community. And she said to me when she first met me, she said, "Oh, but it's okay for you to say you are so confident. Look at you go. You're so lucky." And I said, I said to her, "Fiona, but you did not see me 5 years ago, 10 years ago. There were periods, even to this day, like I was in senior management for a long time. That was most of my adult career in the helping professions. And there were a few occasions when I was asked to speak and I just froze. I froze in front of my colleagues, and it was embarrassing, and I shrunk. And there have been days where, I've wanted the ground to swallow me. So, yes, absolutely, what you see is me, and I take that because it is my life journey. It is my dream. I have made it happen.
Yeah.
I lead by integrity. Integrity is one of my greatest things. But with integrity, Vicki, is also, also the ugly parts of us that come up from time to time. So,
Yeah.
None of us are always
Exactly.
polished and perfect all of the time. So I think it's really important for
No,
everybody to know. Yeah.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think that a lot of the times that perfect polished look that we can be perceived is what we do for branding, but the authentic you still comes through in that. You know,
Yes.
our
Yes.
hair can be done and our
Yes.
makeup can be on and we can look
Absolutely.
beautiful, but it doesn't mean we're not afraid. My first live, I was scared to
Absolutely. I
death. I thought,
love
oh my God.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we need to embrace fear, don't we? Fear shows us that we
Yes.
need to step into it because on the other side, there's a more expansive, beautiful, loving version of ourselves. I mean, we are perfect, whole,
Mhm.
and complete in our core essence.
Yes, we
But
are.
fear shows us that,
Yes,
it's an adventure, it's the next step of expansion.
yes, absolutely. And I when I first decided like a few weeks ago that no, this is it. I am jumping in. I said to my husband, "Give me this year. This is what all I need is this one year, and I will show you." And I will. And I haven't stopped. The smile on my face has been here since. I have felt this draw, and every single woman that I have come in contact with, I've had this connection to in a different way because I'm open and I'm really hearing who they are, what their purpose is and what they want to share. And I think that the more we can share and the more we can make this the norm, yeah, we're afraid. Yeah, we're scared. Yeah, sometimes the old Suzana comes up. Sometimes the old Vicki comes up. That's okay.
That's
And
right.
it is
That's okay.
perfect just the way it is.
It is
Yeah,
perfect. That's
yeah,
right.
for
And
sure.
the old Susanna and the old Vicky, it's just the little girl needing help, needing love, needing a reminder that everything is okay.
Yep.
Everything is okay.
Mhm.
And, I love what you shared. You made that decision. And when you made that decision and told your husband, all these incredible women came, because you were coming
Yeah,
from a place of inspiration, which is in spirit. Your spirit knows, your soul
yeah,
knows. And when you're aligned, when you follow that calling and say, yes, I'm going to allow my spirit to expand rather than my fear and all those messages that I've received in my past about who I am not
mhm,
and who I should be. I'm going to let those go and I'm just going to allow the perfection with me, that inspiration, that spirit within myself to expand. Well, that energy
yes,
reaches all of the women that need
yeah,
to be here.
yeah. And
Yeah.
yes, and I believe that with my whole heart and soul. I believe that so much. I think that when given the opportunity to get quiet and really get in touch with that part of you and allow yourself to open up to that part and really it it's like I get like an awakening for a better word. I can't think of any other word that would suit that better, but it was like that for me.
Yeah.
It was like an opening up of comfort and I don't feel like I'm not saying the right thing. I don't question how I feel. I just know that this is what's supposed to be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Wow. And what a beautiful way to
And
live.
isn't but it
Yeah. Go
yes,
ahead.
it is. That's what I was
Yeah.
just going to say. It's a beautiful way to be able to live your life.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's the possibility is there for every woman that that will be able to listen to this. And I just want them to understand that anything is possible when you allow yourself the or give yourself the permission to just allow it to happen.
Yeah. Anything is possible. And we really are not here to play it small. We really aren't. When you understand yourself, and I'm not even sure, Vicki, if in one lifetime, in the human experience, and we've got to remember the humanness is only a fraction of the truth of who we are. And that's one of the reasons why I moved from a job into my own business, because rightly so, the helping professions have, guidelines, and you have to, do your work with your clients in a box. So to me, that always, my team did exceptional work, but we weren't taking the whole person, into the sphere of expansion. 99% of us, and this is science, shows that we are invisible. And our greatest part, the wisdom within us comes from that invisible part. That invisible part is pure love. It's pure potential. It's the same consciousness that has created the world, has created, the universe, the galaxies, everything that we see, taste, touch, smell. That's the same core essence within us. And it is absolutely available to every single woman, every single man. And that part of you, it's almost unexplainable. It's just an experience. And I think this is why it's so important that women, whatever your gift is, whatever your purpose and mission in this life is, whether it's teaching, whether it's podcasting, whether it's accounting, whatever it is, business, being a mother, having different roles and different missions, whatever it is for you, when you tap into that part of yourself, whatever you do it's sacred. It's joyful. It's ease. It's love.
Yeah.
You start to learn about yourself. You start to expand yourself in ways that you would never imagine. And what that does, because we are all one, I mean, you're halfway around the world, but I feel your core essence. I've only met you once, but I feel you. I feel you like you're here. I feel your essence, right? Okay, because that part we share.
Yeah.
And the more you and I understand who we are and come from that essence, the core of who we are, okay, the more people that listen to this incredible podcast are able to tap into their core essence and expand. But also what that does is that will then, through them, connect with other women that they may not have ever met in their lives, may or may not have. Okay, because we are core. Our core essence is one. Okay, we all have it within us. There's not one person that is special in that they don't have that essence, that truth, that intelligence, that expansiveness within them.
That is just beautiful how you even articulate that, because I can feel it. Like you said, you're in Australia, I'm in Canada, and I feel your words when you're speaking them. When you work with people, and I know you have a career and you work with people, and I've read some of your testimonials from people, and I mean, they're just amazing. You have a way of just making people, myself feel, and I'm sure the listeners will attest to this as well, that calm and that connection and that hope for some that don't feel like that is even possible. So many people don't think that they have that. And what you just explained was so beautiful because you do have that.
So I guess for people that aren't, or women that aren't familiar with some of these concepts, although I think, when we allow ourselves a few minutes of stillness, of inner connection, and we move from our head to our hearts, we do understand it, even if you may not have heard these concepts. And for women and people that are listening to this and maybe call to explore their inner perfection, call to explore what is possible for them. If we were to just keep it simple, and if I was to suggest to get out of their heads and move into their heart. So there's this thing out there that you have to think positive. And I don't disagree with that. I think, research, my experience over 35 years of professional experience, shows that, yes, we do have to change some of our thoughts. However, when you look at evidence and thinking, it's impossible to stop some of our thoughts. So the problem is not just changing your thoughts. It is not attaching to the thoughts that, what we should be doing is not aiming to change our thought. Yes, change our thoughts, but remember that some thoughts will come in faster than the speed of light. So it's the attachment to the negative thoughts. Yeah. Okay. So we have a thought that says, oh, Suzana, you're not good enough. So then what we start to do is, oh my God, I'm not good enough. And then we allow more and more thoughts to come in. Okay. So it's the attachment, it's the emotional attachment. But an easier way is to move from up here, move your thinking to your heart center. Mm-hmm. And there is so much research that shows when you connect to your heart, so much research, Vicki. Oh my God. I love talking about the heart because when I was at university, I studied psychology. We studied the brain. Okay. Marvelous organ. But in my career, I became so successful because I was following my heart. I was following intuition. And in senior management, I was never able to tell my superiors that I came to my decisions, that my success and my team's success was because I was following my heart. But yet there is so much evidence out there, over 30 years of rigorous research showing that your heart sends more signals to your brain than what your brain does elsewhere. So therefore, your heart is your first brain. Okay? Right? So and one of my missions is to get that out there. I do a lot of heart coherence work with my clients. But for the incredible women that are listening to this podcast, if, I'm confident that this talk that Vicki and I are having will resonate if you're quiet, okay, because it's the truth of who we are. But if we kept this simple and you just connected to your heart every day, for 5 minutes, you'll start to quieten the mind. So those thoughts that are problematic, that have been around for all of your life, will start to lessen. They might still be there, but they might not affect you as much. Yeah. Okay. You'll start to release health hormones like DHEA and 1,300 other healthy hormones rather than cortisol. So we live in a society that we are cortisol addicted. 95% or
Mm-hmm.
more people are in a state of stress, worry, fear. Fear is ruling their life, and limited
Yep.
beliefs. Okay, so if we could just start to connect to our heart, what that does is a coherent heart sends more coherent signals to your brain. Your brain is able to think a lot clearly. Those thoughts that are detrimental will slow down. Okay. You start to release healthier hormones. You're able to be more present. But also, what happens is you start to connect to your inner guidance. You start to understand who you are from within. Okay. So, when you are coherent and you're able to connect to the higher vibrations rather than stress. So, when you look at stress and fear, and we need cortisol to get up in the morning, okay, but we don't need it for most of the
Yep.
day, okay? So when you are addicted to cortisol and you're in the lower vibrations, when you look, and this is evidence too, the David Hawkins scale of consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
those emotions, those lower vibration emotions, when they become your natural state of being, so you're in a state of fear, worry, guilt and shame are absolutely horrible to you. They're not only destructive, what happens is you constrict. Okay, so your energy constricts, your body constricts. Okay, you're in a state of dis-ease, so you're not in harmony. And what that does is also keeps you away from your true self. So what we were talking about earlier, before our vibration turned off the internet, right? What we were talking about earlier, the core,
Right.
our core, yeah, our core essence, the truth of who you are, the place of intelligence of your unlimited self. When you are constricted, when cortisol is ruling your life, you're constricted, your energy is constricted, so therefore you can't feel it. You are disconnected to your true self. Okay, so it's more difficult to understand these concepts. When we are coherent, we start to relax. Parasympathetic nervous system is activated, so we can change our nervous system. Okay, we start to open up to higher vibrations. We can connect to gratitude, joy, presence.
Yes.
I love presence. Everything is in the presence.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Self-love.
yes. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we expand
What I
our
do hear
energy.
oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'll just finish with this. And then when we expand, our energy field
Yeah.
expands too. Yeah. So our energy field expands and we're able to not only connect to each other better, but connect to our purpose, to our goals, etc. So, yeah.
You said guilt is something that people really have that really constricts, right? Guilt and shame.
Absolutely.
We feel those things so often when we're not present with what we're doing right now. That's where the past comes in, is that guilt, or, oh, I shouldn't do that because you're taking on everybody else's rather than concentrating on yours. And I think that is a
Absolutely.
really hard thing. I know I have clients that have asked me, well, how do I not feel guilty?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
it's, but when you put it that way, it's just like almost like a sigh, a feeling of letting it go, letting all of that stuff go, and just being with the possibilities and that feeling and that heart centered. It sounds so simple when we say it. And I know
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah.
because our
Yeah.
heads, we are meaning making machines, right? We want to make a meaning out of what we think.
That's right.
But
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
I just feel like once I chose that, once I did get quiet, and I did get quiet, and I asked myself, what makes you happy and what do you feel and want? And that's when you had said to me, you are doing that. You aren't trying, you are doing. And it was like, because that was who I was becoming. And I allowed her to show herself and not hang on to that little girl that protected me for 50 plus years.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. My gosh. There's so much that you just said in all of that. So much that you said in all of that, you know? Yeah, for sure. You know, um, can I start with guilt? And I wanna, if I can just, share with everything that you've said.
Yes.
But if we
Yes.
start with guilt and shame,
Yes.
because you are so right. So many women are conditioned to feel guilty, to be people pleasers, and even when they please, they're still guilty. And there's also, unfortunately, a lot of shame that most of
Thank you.
us carry. Let me tell you one thing, okay? Evidence shows when they measured these emotions, okay, listen to this, Vicki. I had chills when I first was studying this. So if you can imagine, they measured the frequency of this emotion. So emotion is just energy. That's all it is. And it's
Yeah.
vibrating at different frequencies. Okay, everything is frequency. So when they measured our emotions, did you know that the lowest possible vibration that you can be on is shame?
Really?
Yes, and then the second lowest is guilt. Okay?
Wow.
So, yeah. So shame resonates at a frequency of 20, guilt resonates at a frequency of of 30. Okay? What does death resonate? Can you guess what frequency death resonates?
Or would it
So
be
not death
zero?
of the yeah, 0. 0. So not death of the spirit can't die, but the body,
Right.
you've got no emotion when the spirit or soul has left the body. There's no emotion, so it's 0.
Right.
So shame and guilt resonate very close to a frequency of death,
Wow.
right? So two things. One, how in the world can you manifest or put in the intention? Intention is very powerful to have something more beautiful, more better, more, more loving, more exciting if you're in a state of shame and guilt. You can't. You can't manifest from that level. It keeps you stuck. It keeps
Mm-mm.
you stuck. But also, shame loves to hide. So people that are feeling, think about it. When you have felt shamed or ashamed about something, you want to hide. You don't want to share it with anyone, right? Because you are so guilty. You are so wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you think anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Yeah.
happens in
Yeah.
hiding your shame, it grows. And the more it grows, the less you are living. Okay? It's no wonder why so many people contemplate losing their lives or ending their lives, and some unfortunately do it. Many times they are hiding in surmountable amounts of shame, when just by sharing that shame with a trusted person, one trusted person, you start to release it.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
start to release
Wow.
it, you are able to start to expand. When you start to let it go. And one way of letting it go is
Unbelievable.
connecting with your heart coherence. Okay? Right? So you cannot manifest. There's all this stuff about the law of attraction. I believe that the law of attraction is not fully understood by a lot of people. But, you know, there's all this
Yeah.
stuff about law of attraction. It is a law, a universal law. There's all this stuff about manifestation. But one of the reasons why you might not be manifesting is because you are stuck in the lower vibrations of shame and guilt. Shame and guilt are close to death. Your reason, your purpose in this life is not to be dead. It's to be expansive.
No.
It's to be, it's to tap into your greatness. And for anyone that's watching this that may be feeling stuck in those, or listening to this, that may be stuck in those lower vibrations, I want you to know, please, I want you to know that things can change for you. Things can change for you. They absolutely can. Just by doing
Absolutely.
some simple
Yes.
steps
Yep.
every single day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's a choose your heart, right? Because a lot of people will say, well, I don't like to journal, I don't like to meditate, or I don't like to do this because it's just one more thing I have to add to my day. But what I say is 5 minutes of your day to put your health and well-being first is all that it would take. Because once you start, it just keeps going, because it's just, you feel better, you show up better, your energy is different, you have people that come into your life that is different, all of these positive, wonderful things start to happen, and then you still don't want to try, right? Like it's so, because I remember, Suzanne, like when I first started working on personal growth for like really looking within, it was like I couldn't get enough. I was taking courses, and I was listening, and I was really taking it all in. I was busy in the doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's all great. It is. But I wasn't at one with my true essence. I was trying to fix 50 some years of guilt and shame and all of these things all at once, and trying to move on, and trying to deal with my grief, and trying to do all of these things, where the moment that I allowed myself to get quiet, that's when things started to change.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't in the doing, it was in the being. And allowing yourself to really get connected, your heart and your head.
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
just explained it in such a profound way for me, because I didn't understand it. Spirituality was a hard thing for me to understand for a lot of years, just from past issues with different things. But now I feel like I feel so calm, so at peace, so complete, just by being able to share my truth and connect with my heart and my purpose. So I mean, when you're saying these things, the simplicity of it really is like if it's from guilt and death to raising that vibration just to understanding a little bit more about the human connection and our spirit and our purpose. Like, it's just amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And,
until you feel it, I don't know. I mean, I want everyone to feel this. I just want everyone to just take a little bit of this and just put it in their own lives to be able to see what's possible. Because you're never stuck. You always have hope.
absolutely. You're never stuck. I can't stop smiling. I just, you're never stuck. I love your story. And I love when you said, like you feel so complete. You've always been complete. Always, always, always. You've just allowed all the junk and the lies to just move aside so you can connect to your core essence. And, we need to move. And one of the things that I work with my clients on is understanding, having them understand that they need to move from horizontal thinking to vertical thinking. So if you think about it, and one of the exercises I get them to do is, get a blank sheet of paper and draw a horizontal line from the left to the right. And that horizontal line represents your life, this life right now, as Vicki, as Suzana, as Jane, and whatever. So the far left is the moment that you were born. Okay, so you put, your date, birth date. The far right is the day that you transition. You leave this human experience. You die, in other words. So I get them to mark a cross on the line where they think they are now. Okay, so if they're 50, they might put it in the center or whatever. If it's a teenager, that's 15, it might be, towards the left. Okay, so when you think, and this was an epiphany to me, and I don't even know, I think I got this idea. I was reading A Course in Miracles, and this is where I got the idea from, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been doing with my clients, but it's a great way of them understanding on paper. So from that cross where you are right now to the left, okay, to the point where you were born, is all of this knowledge, information, life experience that you've had. Okay? Now, I want to say, most of that knowledge is probably lies anyway. You picked up information about yourself, about who you are. That's not necessarily true. Okay, but there's some true information in there too, but it's a whole load of information that you've just collected. Okay, now, you've got the rest of your life towards the right, and you want to change your life. You want to align with your mission and purpose. You want to achieve big things. So you're trying to achieve big things. And I say trying, right? Because that's what we do on the horizontal. Based on, based on all of the experience and knowledge that you've accumulated from the past. Okay? But how in the world are you meant to have a new experience of life? How in the world are you meant to have a significant shift? How in the world are you meant to tap into a new possibility if you're coming from a place that is based on all of your past programming? You cannot have something new if you're only using what you've always been, known, and accumulated. Yet, that's how we are taught to think. We are taught to think horizontal. I'm going to get here. Okay, what do I do to have that change? Well, your mind goes back. Okay, yeah, X, Y, and Z. If I don't know it, I'll try to find the information, but it's still based on the past. Okay, now, what science, we'll just kind of step away from the horizontal for a moment. What science also shows us that not only are you limitless, okay, Vicki, you cannot, it is impossible for you to use up all of your potential in this one lifetime. It's absolutely impossible. That's how much potential you have. Your potential, your genius within you, and every single person has a genius within them, and it's not based on IQ. I'm telling you that.
Mhm.
Okay? Every single person
Mhm.
has genius locked up inside them. Your genius is infinite. Okay? Your potential is absolutely infinite. Now, we also have the quantum field. And the quantum field, which is invisible, it's within you, it's everywhere, has every single possibility that exists. Every single possibility. You've just got to decide which possibility you want to align with. This is how powerful you are. However, if you want to bring that possibility to you, if you want to experience that possibility, whatever it is, whether it's your first $1 million, and I've had many first millionaires in my community, whether it's, fulfilling your mission and purpose, whether it's traveling around, whatever it is for you. So you've got to tap into a new possibility. That possibility absolutely exists for you. It absolutely does. But what you've got to do is you've got to move from horizontal and now draw a vertical line from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. Okay, so have a look at your page. That
Okay.
little cross is tiny, but the page is full of infinite possibilities that you cannot bring up to in your awareness based on your past, because your past is limited conditioning. So you need to move from your horizontal to the vertical. Okay. So you've got to let go. You've got to let go
Yep.
of everything that you thought was true about yourself, about the world, about what you can achieve. You've got to let go. You've got to tap into a new possibility. And then align with that possibility. Connect with your heart. Your heart knows. And there is a simple breathing technique that you can start off with to help you connect with your heart. But if you continue to bring your past self with you, okay, don't expect different results.
Yeah. Wow. It yeah, anyone that knows me would think you're at a loss for words? Really? But because I just felt that so much, like, I hope and I know the listeners will hear this and, oh, it's just when I draw it, when you see it and you need to draw this, you need to do this exercise. Potential is infinite. You have the capability to do whatever you choose. But isn't the definition of insanity doing the same thing and expecting a different result? So if we were to
Yeah.
go back and just keep rehashing our past over and over and over again, how can you create something bigger than that? How? It's not possible. And when you explain it like that, it's like, I can allow myself the grace to let go of what no longer serves me, what is
Yes.
got me thus far. And it did get me
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
now I get to go somewhere where I've never been before. And it's crazy. Everything has pointed me in exactly this direction. And now that it's happening, it's just I can't even explain the feeling I have in my body. I have goosebumps. I have chills. I just feel like this is just the beginning of something so beautiful and so we can share this. And like you said, you want to get this out. You want people to see what's possible when they can connect with their heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that.
Absolutely. You know, as you were sharing, Vicky, what just kept resonating with me, our first conversation when I said to you, just stop trying. You are her already. Okay? So trying is the horizontal.
Yes.
Being, letting go and being the real you is the vertical. It's the essence.
Yes. Thank you. I can't imagine never being able to meet you. My life will be forever changed, and I think that we will have a connection from here forever,
We de- we definitely
way
will. I
past this
feel it.
lifetime.
Well, maybe it was
I
before
really
this
do.
life too,
I was, yeah, I was
Mm,
going to say that too.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so thank you. Thank you. And for thank you for doing your work. It's so important. It's so important. And your work,
Thank you.
Vicky, is going to be available for generations to come. Your work is not just changing your listener's mind a little bit about what's possible for them. You know, I mean, there are mothers, there are business women, there are women that have,
Yeah.
survived, violence or experiencing violence. Your essence is setting them free, even if it's just one little idea they get, and that's going to go on for generations. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much, so much. If I may just
Thank you.
suggest just one little breathing technique, because I've spoken about it quite a bit, and people
Yes,
might think,
please do. I was going
okay,
to come back to
how do
that because
I
you did. Yes,
if that's okay. Yeah, so all we have to do, so this is the
absolutely.
most basic one. With my clients, we build on that, but for people that are starting out, it's not my technique. It's a Heart Math Institute technique, and it's been researched over and over again. So all you have to do, I normally just put my hand on my heart because that signals this monkey mind, and I have a monkey mind just like everybody else,
Okay.
to move from there and into the heart. Now you can have your eyes closed or open, and this
Okay.
is the beauty of these techniques. You can have your
Okay.
eyes open and do them while you're driving, do them when you're in a meeting, whatever. But when you're first practicing, you
Okay.
might want to have your eyes closed. So you just put your hand on your heart and you just, bring your awareness to your heart or chest area. And imagine that you are breathing in and out from your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. That's all you've got to do. If you could do it for a minute, a few times a day, every single day, it's the consistency that makes, that creates the change that you want. So
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today, Suzana. I can't say enough wonderful things about our connection and what you have to share for this world. All of your links and everything that if you want to get in touch with Suzana, if you want to speak with her, everything will be in the show notes of this podcast today. And I can pretty much guarantee this won't be the last time we have her on our podcast, because you are a wonderful soul and I am blessed to have met you. And this will be the first of many, I hope. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you. The feeling is absolutely mutual. Thank you. I'm absolutely honored to have been your guest today. And thank you to all the incredible women that have been listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And on that note, everyone, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, we'll see you on The Art of Being Unstoppable. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Art of Being Unstoppable. Remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and your power is limitless. If you love today's conversation, subscribe, share it with the women in your life, and leave a review to help more women discover their unstoppable selves. I'm Vicki McDougall, and I'll see you in the next episode, because your journey to unstoppable starts now.